Attention. This is the TownNet A of the day. I am your net controller, T number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. Reminder to all that the net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin. Bam!
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Ticket number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Anyone else? Check in. Check in. It is now 1 p.m. sharp. We're doing the official call out for Net A. Anyone want to check in? Please come now. It's a quiet Friday. One more call. Anyone want to check in? Please come now. Come. Okay, we'll begin. Wow. Let's do a warm-up round now. So let's see if we have any more people come in. Okay. Today is Friday. We got the Cantonese part going with home. We talk about div, and we get into more stuff, which will be the lesson today about the luck, the bakwa, and all that. But anyway, before we begin, this morning there was an incident, actually from last night. So Lei was the main character in this story. So last night he was having issues, and it was his heart meridian clogged, weak, and leading to many problems. So Wing got on Zello in the command center and called out for help. And I quickly responded to it and got him on the right track. Luckily, I said, you didn't drag, because now it's still like the beginning of the problem. So I told him to do this, do that, and basically it's resolved for the night, and he can go back to sleep, right? But I said, if you drag it and just like kind of leave a message and then wait, maybe we'll find such on tomorrow. Oh my goodness, that will be like a huge problem. And he might not even be able to go to work today, if that continues. And I said, yeah, I would prefer people ask for help early so that the solution is going to be more simple and something that you can actually do yourself, right? But if you drag it, then it's like, yeah, I can still help you, but the problem is so big. I have to like already soul travel over to help you. And that will be costing me a lot more than just giving you some guidance, right? So I would always prefer fixing problems when they're like first started, not when they are, in big trouble. So yeah, it's a good story to learn from. And well, let's move the mic around. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Good afternoon, everybody on the net. Good afternoon, Shajwan Gijang. very familiar with that meridian clog, that heart meridian clog that happened to me already. And it's a very scary thing. It took a couple days of the exercises for it to really resolve. But when you're feeling it, it feels like all the symptoms that they tell you about when you're having issues with your heart. You know, your arms go a little bit numb, your fingers start tingling, you get some kind of pressure in your chest. You know, all this kind of weird stuff goes on with your upper body. But you don't really get a resolution. They just tell you to come in if you feel like you're getting ready to pass out and this and that. And if you feel that, just come on in. And then they bring you in and they do all these tests and stuff. And they go, yeah, you probably need a stent and other stuff. And so here's some medicine. And, you know, we're going to keep you and run up a bill. And, oh, bad stuff is happening to you. And pretty soon you're in a panic and now you're laying on a bed someplace. I guess my big question is, and then maybe for the newbies that aren't quite ready to have this experience, because it's special, right? So how do we recognize when you need to call for help? Not everybody knows when to call, because they could sit there and they go, oh yeah, oh, I don't feel anything hurting now. I guess I could ride it out. I can ride it out. You know, that's our American thinking. We'll ride it out. You know, they're just not going to do anything. When do we call for help? We should call early. But when is early too early? And when is it too late? Okay. Ting in number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Whenever your body or your system, I should say, not just the body, is giving you feelings, it's already like alarming. So you should ask for help already. Like, I'm feeling numb here. I'm feeling dizzy. I'm feeling, something stuck here, or hardened here, or here's kind of like not moving. These are already like alarms. And if you don't address to the alarm, you cannot write it out. Like, there's no way to write it off. Like, you can only ignore it, right? And up to a point, your system is like, oh, okay, you ignore the alarm, right? So what it will do, it just turns it off and you don't feel it anymore. Okay, so yeah, there's no more of that feeling. You thought the problem is gone? Nope, it was not gone. Just like they turn off the volume, right? But it's still like going on. So later it will manifest. When the chi issue manifests to D8, you will see physical and something that like you can go for x-ray scan, or, maybe like you just open the mouth and you can see that problem, like, oh, your tooth just rotten out, or there's like something grow out of your body, or there's like cancer, right? Things that physically can be witnessed will come out. And whenever you have that issue, it's because you of the issue before in D6. So suddenly you have cancer. Like, why? Boom, you wake up, you have cancer. No, it's because you neglected the alarm that was going on like many months ago, and you didn't, like, you try to write it off, right? And then, yeah, you fucked up yourself. So whenever your system is ringing the alarm, you should address to it. And it's really, well, I would say like magical when you can spot the problem, because last night they told me all that and I like precisely can diagnose which part is the issue. And I tell him to do this, do that, like jumping up and down, shaking the hand here, there, right? And immediately the chi just flows through and he can breathe again. All that is like, if you let the Western doctor look at it, they're like, what the hell? But yeah, it's like that simple. When you solve the problem in D6, you feel good again. It's not going to grow into a D8 problem, or else you will see the problem in D8. TA number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Unit number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Good day to Sergeant Gijan. Good day to my seniors and my juniors. And well, based on the symptoms that you just said, Sergeant, it would be really easy for the Western medicine fraternity to misdiagnose him, probably tell him some garbage that he's having a seizure or a heart attack. And like Hastra said, give him a whole set of medicine, a whole set of stuff that he doesn't need. So it is very disappointing and concerning how the Western medicine system has no idea what's really going on. They're kind of just trying to figure it out as they go along. I mean, yeah, they have a lot of information now about, stuff that happened in D8, but like I said, by the time it hits D8, it's kind of late already. And even when it's already in D8, they didn't really have a problem to adequately fix the problem in D8. They're always trying to cut you open, because once they cut you open, it's incentive for them to get more money. So just really, really stupid, extremely stupid. And it's very concerning, because you have to be aware of these things, and the average person who's just going through life trusting in the medical fraternity is going to be taken advantage of. Back to you, Tanya, number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Well, I won't say it's like 100% stupid, because it exists in nature, right? The Western system for a special reason. So it has its play sometimes, right? But for us, I would not trust that for myself. Some people need it, like JC, like Buddhism, right? Some people like that. So just not me. Yeah. Personally, we have had cases where people have like physical symptoms, or actually like problems diagnosed by the doctors in the hospital. There was one with cancer, one with like UTI, like the woman issues, and it was diagnosed, and she was like almost going to die, like 3 months, and you're done, like the doctors say. So all we did was clean up the yi, and the problem was like disappeared. It no longer exists. Yeah. So I have seen cases like that with our own work. It's very magical, right? I never expected anything, right? But it was like, yeah, we see you have all these problems, so I can only help you deal with the yi and see what happened. And that was even before Samlo, right? It was like really early, and I can deal with the yi and clean up that problem, and the cancer is gone. Yeah. So not only once, right? We have tried different people, and it works the same way. So yi is a big cause of a lot of problems in life. But people don't realize how common it is to see yi problem or yi rooted problems, right? So when you fix the yi, a lot of the things are kind of like loosen up, and then they cannot exist anymore because they lost the root, right? For example, there was this whole family that is having issue, like a whole family in the same house. So what happened is we exorcised the house, and the family is like not sick anymore. Like, why the hell? Like whole family getting sick non-stop, right? You thought it was like some virus infection or whatever crap, right? Well, all we did was like go there, kick the yi out, and seal up the house. Yi is not here. Everyone's not getting sick anymore. Amazing. Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I would like to greet everybody in the net and Sajwan Kijang. As far as my experience, I've got so many issues with my health, including diabetes. The experience of numbness is very common, like especially the left side. I remember a few years back, I believe it was 2 or 3 years, I did met with the doctor. I remember I still had the medical aid at that point, so I did mention to the doctor the experience I'm having with my left hand. So according to her, she's telling me that according to her, it was like the reason for that is because of the sugar level that is not being managed. She was talking about exercise and proper diet and everything. But as far as I'm concerned, it's very very expensive now to even to buy medication. It's so difficult at this stage. Unlike the few years back when at that time when I used to have medical aid and stuff, could I could be able to manage to go to the doctor. It's very expensive to go to the doctor to go see a doctor. But now I can sit around without seeing a doctor anymore. Even the other thing is even the food. The food is very 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 expensive. So diet is also contributing because the kind of diet that we're eating anything that we can afford at this stage. So in my side, I mean, like it's even difficult to even buy meat, and because obviously meat is one of the basic things that you did recommend, like eating meat like frequently. So that's not what I do. Like I don't do that frequently because of the affordability on my side. So yeah, Chinet number 2 Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Okay, before I begin, anyone check come now. Anyone want to check in? Please come now. Okay, I'll continue. Sugar level is a very funny word. Wing told me about her issue before, and she also mentioned like she have a sugar level low issue or no, sugar level too high or something, whatever that is. I'm like, so what is exactly the problem? In my dictionary, I don't talk about sugar level. That has nothing to do with me, okay? I'm like, what do you feel that is a problem? So it turned out it's like she feels suddenly like there's a rush, the heart like boom, 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 like very fast and whatever, like dizzy and things like that. Okay, I'm like, okay, you feel like that? No problem. So next time you feel that, you tell me. So since then, there was like not much, but there was a time when she get like nervous and whatever, and that thing act up. So all I did was, okay, let me fix you up. I so travel over and take a look. Oh, your heart is broken. Okay, let me seal that heart up. Boom, and then she's like, oh, I'm okay again. Yeah, it was like that. Like I only fly over, do distant magic, and seal up her heart, right? Repair that wound, and it's back to normal again. Like, why are you plugging in so many pills? Like she was eating what, like something 20 or something, oh, like a 20 or something kind of medicine a day, right? And that's all because of the stupid professionals saying that she need to be on medication like that. I'm like, you're like what, 25? And you're eating like 25 medicine? So by the time you're 26, are you going to eat 26 kind of medicine? I mean, that's crazy, right? But yeah, that's how Western medicine work. You know, you get more medicine, that's more money, so that's more business, and it's good for the doctors, right? Yeah, I guess that's how it works. So end up that lady went over and trashed all her medicine. Lady's like, nah, you don't need this. It's just some yeet crap. So I was like, oh wow. So right now, she's not on any medicine, and there's nothing wrong going on. There's no problem. Like actually, there's no problem. Like nothing. So I mean, like, yeah, look, you're now medicine free. So why would you still need those, right? Like there's nothing happening to you. In a way, those pills is kind of like a religion, like a coach. It locks you in, like drugs, and then you're like depending on it, and you believe in it, and it's like it's not even like I have problems and I need to eat this. It's more like I just believe it will work for me. Kind of like eating gummy bears. Right? You believe it will help, but does it actually help? No, it doesn't help. It's a waste of money. You could have use that money to buy yourself some food paper. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. John, is just make it sound like, oh, you got a faulty starter in your car. Just replace it. It's fine. But I'm almost positive it's more complicated, maybe, than that. But the cult of Western medicine is decidedly that, you get those messages. If you ever hear it on television, maybe on your podcast, consult your doctor. Just consult your doctor. And they list off those real crazy side effects, could have a side effect of death and all kinds of you might lose the function of your bowels, all kind of stuff goes on. But people still go and run to their doctor thinking that they're going to get saved when no amount of money is going to save them. No amount of time you can borrow. If it's just your time, it's just time. You got to go. And it just seems like there is this belief that if they go, you will be saved. And not to mention, Western medicine is amazing at crisis management. You can go to the doctor when, you lose a limb, you're bleeding out, or if you're, you have some kind of crisis. Western medicine is a bomb with that. They could get you together. But maintenance and preventative, no clue. Not a clue on that. Nothing. They don't have nothing for you. They got some stuff that you could tack on if you feel like you got some symptoms, and some stuff that they can maybe hope that it helps you. But other than that, they don't. It's really good field medicine. If you have a crisis that if you're in the next 15 minutes, you will be dead, they could probably get you back together, in most cases. But then I have also seen it where TCM has had similar, although not the same dramatic effect as Western. So maybe Shadron can maybe elaborate on how that is, if that is even possible. Ting at number 2 or Ting at number 4. Woo! Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Talking about the Western medicine already kind of degrade yourself. You went from like tier number 4 to tier number 2 instantly. Like, wow, what happened? Today I saw a video on TikTok. It was a guy, whatever they call that, influencer. Yeah, the guy was like doing a test. So he bought wine and liquor bottle and that kind of stuff, and he kind of repackaged them, and then he filled them with tap water, and he's in Australia, and then he tried to like sell or like let people try. So they say like, oh, $1 bottle water versus $1,000 a bottle water, and then they create the whole place to let people experience the water. So there's like you can boil the water and then like smell the steam, and then there's like, oh, you have this one that comes out as vapor, this one comes out as like a sprayer, and people kind of like can try it out. So a lot of people line up and they're like, oh, this one, the more expensive one, is like really different. I can feel the difference already, and they like blow up a lot of stories about it. And it was amazing because it's like the same tap water. So they were being asked, if you were to pay, how much would you pay for this $1,000 bottle? And the answers was like the lowest guy would say $300. and then it would go up to 1,000. So people are willing to pay $300 for tap water, just because of the packaging and presentation and all that crap. It's so stupid. And that's exactly what happened with trends and, well, eventually Western doctors and even TCM. TCM today is very westernized, I will have to say. It's disgusting because the way they promote, they split up the whole system into small department. Like there's acupuncturist, and then you go to there, you expect they only poke you with needle. There's no herbal medicine, right? And then you go to the herbal medicine guy. He is like the family doctor, but he won't do acupuncture. Maybe he will do one or two, but not like the full-on experience. And then you have this guy that only does cupping, and then you have this guy that only like kind of do chiropractic and whatever. Right? It's like all small department, and you know what? It's not like that. Initially, it's one guy do everything, because it is a full system itself. You can't split it up. Right. And there are many things you cannot just like, oh, I want to get needles poked. So, fix it with me with your needle. You can't choose that. It's the doctor look at you and think about, okay, based on this, I need to use needle. Based on this, I need to use that. And they choose what to do. But now it's like the patient can choose. And like, okay, I want to fix my whatever problem. I go to this guy and he only do needle, right? What if your problem cannot be fixed by needle? Like it's not supposed to be. No, it will not, because the guy wants your money, right? So he will find a way to make money off you. You come, I do this for you, right? Like that money. So eventually TCM today is kind of like this, and it becomes a business. It becomes a very money-driven thing instead of like you're actually trying to solve problem. And I hate that so much. So tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, John, the comment about how these people bottling these tap water and selling it for millions, well, thousands of dollars. It reminded me of a story I heard or I read. Like a while back, like these people were bottling, or I should say correctly, canning air, putting air in a can and selling it. People in China, and they'll be distributing it to different places in the United States or Europe or Australia. And it's funny because they've literally figured out a way to trick people into buying air now. For all they know, these people in China could be farting in a can and selling it to them and telling them, yeah, that is island mist, and they're having a good time smelling it. It's ridiculous. And also, I think they figured out a way to break up not figured out a way, but they came up with this scam to break up the traditional TCM system, because it's a way of isolating certain sections so they can sell and make more profit, and create more franchise out of it. Oh yeah, we're teaching you how to do acupuncture. Come to this school, you learn to do acupuncture, but what is acupuncture? What is it primarily used for? What is the overall arcing system or theme that it's a part of? So they're not really telling you that. It's kind of like, you learn to be a mechanic, and they're telling you, yeah, come here, we teaching you how to learn how to change car seats. Yeah, everybody needs to have their car seat changed. Also the scammers and propaganda. Back to you, tenure number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Oh yeah, it's like like you say, the car. So acupuncture is like you separate the whole mechanic thing into like, oh, this is the department that only unscrew and screw the things back. It's so stupid, Oh my goodness. Why can't you just go to one guy that knows everything? It's supposed to be the whole thing is one thing, right? It's supposed to be different tools. For you guys here, you should know, right? So if we do the same with our lineage, then it's like, yeah, we have one department that only does food. One department only does scripture. One department only is for like burn incense and make witches. One department is for like, they're only here to teach catting. What the heck? So And then the weird thing is, okay, there's a client that come to me and say, okay, I just want a food to fix my problem. And I look at them and like, no, you can't. Like your problem is not like that. You can't just use a food and fix it, right? So they are trying to choose what kind of tool or method to achieve what they want instead of like coming to me and tell me the problem and I tell them what to do. They are becoming the one that choose. And it's always a problem because it's like, okay, this guy, he's saying that his luck is very stuck. And he's like, oh, my finance is bad and everything is bad. And well, if you come to me, the first thing I looked at you, right, and I see, oh, you have like luck stealing and whatever. You need to clean up the house. You need to build the fence, and then maybe in the middle there will be a fool. But yeah, and then this guy is like, no, I just want a fool. Give me like this one, the well food. Just boost my luck, make me lucky, make me rich. Just make me like what the hell? And then he paid like $60 and he expect that to happen. And and then it's like, okay, I tell you it's not like that. You need more. Okay, now you're a scammer. You want more money off me, huh? So you give him the food, right, that he wants, and it's not going to help. So he still wants it. Okay, you give it to him. It's not working. Now he complains. Why is it not working? I bought this food, and my problem is still here. I mean, like I told you already. So crazy. So that's how TCM is right now. It's scary shit. Tier number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Thing at number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Sorry about that. I remember, I think it was last year, because I stay out of medication for like almost a year last year. The only thing that brought me back to medication is what at some point I felt the numbness on my right leg. So I decided to I wasn't checking the at that point the whole period I wasn't on medication. I wasn't taking any. I wasn't checking the sugar level. And now it is because I remember I lost weight also. So I decided that I must go back to take the medication after that. But I was battling with myself because something was keep on telling me to stay away from medication. I think it was even before I joined the lineage at that period. So something was keep on telling me to stay away from that medication and stuff. So eventually I decided to go back and take it. It was like something invading me. As soon as I touched that medication, it was like it was not right. And I was also feeling guilty because I don't know what was causing all that. There was also a feeling of guilt for taking that medication. I'm not sure what was the cause of all that, but after that I've been taking medication ever since. But now not so much because of finances. I don't have money to buy it at this moment. Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Back to you.
Well, most importantly is you're not taking anything, and it's okay. Like you're still good. That's the most important thing. Remember the canting, right? We like the most simple one, the warm up and such. Get on that daily. It's really important. When you do that daily, it really eliminate a lot of problems in the long run. So before I continue, anyone want to check in? Anyone want to check in?
Ticket number 2, Delta November Go.
Anyone else? Okay, ticket number 2, Delta November Golf. Go ahead.
Ticket number 2, Delta November Go. Kiajang Gijang, greeting everyone on the net. Yeah, just curious about the lay CH. Is that like a maximum how we ride the pool, or it just depend on our body at that moment? Sometimes we don't feel good, or sometimes we lack of energy, or we usually asking the seafood, right? About like, can I ride the pool today for how many of the pool, or so the seafood actually say yes or no is according our health or energy or stamina like that, or yeah, kind of curious about that. So yeah, back to you in the contract in the number 2 Delta November Golf.
Well, Lay's problem is very complicated. It's not just that. It's more like not just a food issue, okay? It's also about his diet and his old wounds. So yeah, it's like even you ask the God and the God say okay, if you don't change the way you eat and live and all that, you're still gonna have problems. And it's not like you asked and you're okay, right? So lots of problems to fix, and it's more like a wake up call for him so that he will know, oh shit, I really need to eat my breakfast. If you don't eat your breakfast, even the God say you're okay, you're not okay, right? Yeah. A lot of the problem with him has to do with his way of like the diet and everything. So he is not eating breakfast. He say like in the morning he wake up, he rush to work. Like I cannot eat breakfast. I have to go to work, and he just rush, right? So I said, well, eventually you're gonna feel it, and now it's exactly the problem. So yeah, I said today, like I explained that breakfast. It's like actually you should see it this way. When we sleep, the Yun Sun get stuff from us the reverse order. So whatever we input at night will go in first, and then it like the lunch, right, the noon, and then the morning. So eating breakfast is like the last thing that the Yun Sun will have, right? So if you eat like good dinner, okay lunch, but I don't eat breakfast, what happened? Well, you have the power to push up from here to the Yun Sun. And the Yun Sun also have power to process what you gave. But it doesn't have any power to give something back to you to come back down. It's like your car run out of gas. It cannot like just, it can't just continue. So that is a problem, right? So when that happens, you will see issues. So when you call the Yun Sun for help, there's no help coming down. There's no essence. And your heart is then weak. When your heart is weak, what can you do? So yeah, the MP, the fat leg, right? It's all in the heart. So, Tina number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
King at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Just a little personal remembrance of when doing a bunch of food whenever I've done them. while you're doing them, you feel great. You feel like you could do a million fu and you're doing really good. And then all of a sudden, once you put that pen down, the thing kicks in. And you just have to experience it. If you haven't experienced it, that's what happens. You do good, and if you don't eat or if you don't do anything before, I told everybody about this before. If you don't do anything about it, if you don't eat it, you're going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And I had a question about the manifestation of the D8 issues. Physically, I understand that those issues show up in D6. So if they're already on the way, and you get the warning sign, and if you don't do anything about it, it shows up here. Is that the same process for people who have long-term mental illnesses like schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, easily triggered anger? Is that something that also comes from D6 and then comes here where you have to deal with it? Or is there something where you can head it off? Or is that all tied to diet? Maybe that's a multifaceted question. Maybe it's a multi-layered type of thing where it's diet, exercise, sleeping, trying to see your symptoms ahead of time so you can head it off. But are those mental issues also manifested in D6 where you can see it before it gets here and it manifests into all these other mental illness traits? Tinget number 4 Hotel Alpha Alpha.
What you call mental illness is all a chi problem. Because you see, your chi, the soul, negative soul deals with all the mental power. So if the mental soul, right, the negative soul, is having issues, then you have whatever you call that mental issue. Like all the problem is there. It's all chi problem. It's just a chi problem. It's all a chi problem. There's actually a saying in TCM: all sickness rooted from the chi. It's solidly written in one of the classics, the first book of TCM. All sickness is born from chi. Isn't it clear? Right? It's like, I mean, why are the doctors today not even realizing that? It's so obvious anything, right? So you understand what your soul is. Why do you need to ask that question? Your soul, right? The 3 states of your soul. Negative soul, thinking. Positive soul, body, feeling, action. And then neutral soul, focus, consciousness, staying connected. Which part have issue? That part is the problem. Lay, heart is down, heart is weak, neutral soul power go down. He cannot stay up. He is like feeling dozing off, disconnecting. Consciousness is going away, cannot focus. Very simple. And then yesterday, if you look at like Nepi, he was here. I taught him 5 element like 4 times or 5 times, and he still cannot say the order of 5 element in the correct way. Why is it like that? Because the mental soul, right, the negative soul is so weak, and you can already see it. He can connect. He cannot think. It's like what you call brain fog, but it's not actually a brain problem. It's a soul problem. The soul is like so weak, it can't process. I teach him something, and it's like it took him so much effort trying to understand it. And I explained it so many times repeatedly, and he's like, oh, now I get it. Yeah. When you see that, like, yeah, that's the negative soul issue, right? The like negative soul is down, so you can't really learn stuff. So some people, they have whatever people call that, but it's like you have trouble learning. That's because your negative soul is having issues. So anything, it's from a chi issue. It's never just a body issue. Even if you say, oh, I cut myself, I can still say it is a chi issue. Why you cut yourself? Because your positive soul is bad and your neutral soul is not making you focus. So accident happen, right? That can happen. And Yeah, let's move on. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, just to contribute to what has just said, Sir John, I didn't my first time attempting the food, I didn't eat enough because I'm thinking, yeah, I'm good. I had a little meal, I'm fine. And then I went and did the food, and like I said, it took me 3 hours. I was like, why is this? And in the middle of doing the food, I'm like, why is time moving so slow? Why am I struggling? And just 3 hours just sneaked up on me. And then afterwards, I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm fine. I'm just going to cook dinner, but I'm going to sit on the sofa and take a minute. And I just dozed off. I didn't even know when I dozed off. I was like, what the hell? And I woke up like maybe 10 o'clock at night, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I sat on the couch at probably like 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30. And I just dozed off. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna mess around with this anymore. I'm gonna make sure and eat and not be stupid or test the hand of fate. This is ridiculous. Because I was confused. I woke up and I was like, what is going on? Like, is it the next day? Like, what's happening? Did somebody drug me? It was so funny. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And then what else happened? I had another thought, but it's just kind of whoosh out of my head, just remembering that that experience of not eating such as advice about eating properly before you do food. But yeah, but I think my time is getting better with doing the food now. I'm not taking as long. And but yeah, you definitely have to stock up on fuel to do fuel. I know Ding is like really good at his food work now. Sergeant, like I've been looking at his stuff. Um I'm curious to know how long it takes him and what's his process. Hopefully he's eating because Ding has a whole restaurant. He has fuel for days. Back to you, Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Well, like I said to Lay today, you might be able to do the food faster because, like, oh, I know the words better. I did practice and so on. Yeah, the speed will pick up, but doesn't mean the output of the power is less. So, yeah, like you did so many food and in 2 days, but hey, you look at what you did to yourself, right? The output is so big, but you didn't put in the stuff back to your Yunsan, right? So you're not getting replenished, and you will feel it. So same to Thing. Thing is like kind of fast with the writing part and learning. So I can see he's kind of like Lay, like he really learns stuff fast and things like that. But the thing is, you see, he have just got through that surgery with the teeth, and well, you see, it takes resources from the pre-heaven to heal you up. So if you do food, it's going to consume that resource much more, and it's going to slow down the healing process. So when we are injured, when we are down, we are like, sick or whatever, it's not a good time to do magic using that heart power. And now you see why, like, we have magic tools. For me, right? Like, you guys are not really understanding a lot yet because you have not learned enough. But think about it this way, okay? Um, when you guys do food, you still use a lot of like your own power, which is inside the heart and your energy body, right? It uses those. But for me, I have ways that I'm like using super minimal from myself. And most of the output is all in stored up power. So it's like a magical tool, like a token or something, and they all have like pre-loaded stuff. So it's loaded in for me to use later, right? It's kind of like that, like a power bank. Kind of like your bead, right? Like, so yeah, you cultivate into the bead and the bead hold it. So later when you need, you can just wear it and it draws from there, right? So kind of like that. So instead of using your own body's resources, you aim to use the resources directly plugging the cable to your altar. And now you can do more without feeling as bad. But that takes time because you need time to also grow that tree at the altar to have fruit. And it's not going to come in a few months, right? So it takes time, it takes virtue and all that to have a powerful and fruitful altar to use. Tier number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I was listening to the recording that you were talking about when Loisa Huang, when he was learning about gold and all that sequence. I figure I have the same experience myself. It's not something that you started now. It's been with me for a very long time. I recall in my first year doing nursing, there were a bunch of friends. I think they were from Nigeria who were doing a first year nursing. They noticed the same thing. They started telling me that I did tell them, nah, this is something that I'm familiar with this thing. Then they told me that no, it could be. The other lady asked me, have you ever had operation or something? I said no. According to their knowledge, they say it's if somebody who have had an operation in the past, they do have such a habit after the operation. But I've never had any operation except the burn. I did burn myself when I was a child on my left hand, and they had to take a piece of meat from my left eye to put because it was a deep burn. That is the only thing. So I did associate something like that with that burn. So that is the only thing I had. So I'm not sure whether that is a valid reason for me to have that experience or not. But that was something that was stuck into my mind. So I associated that with that ever since you did mention that. So yeah, TNet number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Well, your hand issue is a big issue. Yeah, basically it's like they chop off a certain feature of your meridian. It's kind of like you chop the cable. It's, it's very bad. Yeah, it's a very bad idea. Very, very bad idea. And it leads to all kinds of problems later. So, yeah, when people don't understand and they just do things blindly, this is the issue. Well, what's done is done. So, like I said, right, you can start by having the warm up and everything going. So at least you're doing something daily to make it better instead of just looking at, what already happened. At least you're doing something that is helping, right? Tier number 2, Delta November Golf.
Tier number 2, Delta November Golf. Yeah, John. Yeah, it's kind of like I think it's riding the fool is is a tech dedication, and yeah, I'm really happy to hear that the altar also need to be cultivated. It's like a tree, like so after a while it's a better fruit, the power. So and then you can easily to connect like install, like you plug in. So you say you are using less of your power, but I mean you're using more on the other side, free heaven power. So this is really cool. And Yeah, I think it's for me it's the writing the pool before it start. I already write down so many. Learn how to write down so many on the pool head on that things or the word by word practicing. Uh, I order some like like a sketch for a kindergarten like that. Writing down every one word like 100 like that. So it's there's nothing to do, you know. I just my hand is moving by itself. So just and then I can practice that there, and then still watching the lesson plan, right, or some KJ. You know, I just keep drawing like that. So it's a part of the practice I dedicated. So it's it's all thing is we building up ourselves, and then also seek by your guidance, definitely. Yeah, and also if later on if I can like if I have a problem with the E or something, you know, in the house like that, it's for example, it's like a sometimes got a like an allergy. You say everything's happen all the diseases because of the chi, right? So the allergy is like a itchy, like a rash, like that, like a hype. You know, sometimes it's coming up. Is that the E or ghost? Yeah, it's kind of wandering. So I just wanna talk to you, and then maybe can write down the which food is good for that. So yeah, back to you, net control net number 2.
Okay. Well, in my book, there's no allergy as well. Allergy is a word that is invented by the Western. It's not a word in my dictionary. So I can only say when something happened, let me know, and we'll see. Who knows, right? Um, so everyone is like, very how do you say it, accustomed to those words that are commonly used, like allergy, ADHD, and whatever, right? Like all these terms are actually what the Western doctor usually use to describe their problem. And well, even you bring that thing to the TCM guy, they don't have those terms. Well, let's say you bring our terms or even the TCM terms to the hospital. They don't understand what you're saying as well. So why do you think that we need to use the Western terms to understand what a problem is? Right? Like we don't need that term because we have our own way of explaining what a problem is. Like, oh, I have headache, I have this and that. Okay, based on what I'm seeing, the problem is like caused by these things. That's how we describe it. But the Western is like, no, they label it. You have these symptoms, it's called this disease or this whatever problem. Okay, so like they put a label over things, and the label gets more and more and more sophisticated. And then it becomes like a huge book of names of like different combinations of symptoms, and you're still not describing the actual problem. With the TCM or even the Talmudic, like you're a human, you only have these parts, and these parts can only be like this and that and that. So there's no way to have more. You're fixed with a certain amount of way that you can screw up. And all we do is describe which part, how is it doing, the status of it, and then leading to why causing the symptoms, right? That's basically how we explain the problems. Like for example, the TCM will be saying, oh, you have like a lack of chi in the heart. So yeah, you lack of chi in the heart, that's the problem. Exactly. But if you label with something like in the Western, then there's like so many different names for things, and it's like, what the hell is actually going on? So yeah, the way we look at things is very different. And for me, I ditched all those terms that is used in the West already for myself, and I find that life is actually much simpler. The number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Yeah, the Western, so-called Western system labels itself. I mean, it has an entire book, the DSM-3 or 4 or 5 or whatever edition you got, and it all changes depending on what they see, and they still don't know. Then you get these other things like syndrome and a whole bunch of catch stuff like, well, we don't know what it is, but this is what we think we're going to put this label on and neatly put it up here. So there's a lot of disconnectedness in that particular system. So I'm happy that there is another that exists so that it can be properly applied. So, and I don't think that it can be done without a proper guidance or master, such as we have. I think you can run into some real serious problems trying to do that without guidance and experience. Unlike Western medicine, where they just tell you to crack a book, get it for yourself, and you're on your way. So yeah, this is probably my last round. So I wish everyone, or give everyone, a 73. Thank you. Team at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Well, I am still learning. I learned as I help people to fix their problem. I was just saying a while ago, like the time when there was like a bunch of those old ex-disciples leaving, right? I was saying I don't want to be the doctor's role anymore. Like, it's so annoying. You try to help people to solve their problems, and you see end up like they're like all like become assholes. And what if one day you try to solve their problem and they end up like suing you? Oh my goodness, that would be bad. So I said, like, I don't like being the doctor's role. Let the doctors be the doctors. I just deal with your yi, and end up I can't escape from that somehow, because it's like, oh, I have issue, Lei have issue, Wing have issue, everyone have issue. They come to me and like, I what to do? Like, I can't really say it out myself and say, oh, go find the doctors. I can't, I cannot say it. It's just so hard. And so end up, I am still going back to this whole thing of kind of being the doctor's role. So I don't even know, but I guess I can't escape from that. So yeah, tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajjan, we all really appreciate how you do turn this away, because there's very little faith within the medical fraternity, and far less even faith in a lot of the doctors, because they themselves are covered in E. And even if they do have information that could possibly may help us, because we're Taoists, the E is just going to influence them to do some dumb shit. So the trust is never going to be there, and it's not going to be there. So yeah, trust in the Tao, trust in the Sajjan, in our Sajjan, and something will work itself out. It always does. Wishing everybody a 73, because I'm looking at the time, so I don't know, go over OT. And this is Tinny at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's actually OT already for 2 minutes. It is now 2:02 p.m. We have the internet here. So 73 to all, and we'll see you on Net B today. This is the Tina number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo is clear.
Ticket number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf, clear.